Hey guys, I sent out a email last week showing you a couple of pictures. One was of a rope and one was of a kind of a cliff off overlooking a gorge. And I told you I'd share a little bit about that story in this devotion or in this blaze. And a number of years ago, I just felt a conviction to go out on a solo camping trip, spend some time with God. And as I went, I had a lot of things in my mind that I wanted to accomplish. My plan was to go and spend a long weekend. I was going to spend 3 days in what here in the east is called, it's the Limble Gorge. I spent time at the Limble Gorge, and I had camped there for years, and there was a particular trail called the Mountains to the Sea Trail that I wanted to go do and camp at two different mountaintops. And so I started the day on what's called the Chimneys, was hiking on the trail on a ridge, which has got gorges on both sides and cliffs on both sides. So there's not a lot of places to camp. And so I found a spot, a very small spot on the left side of the gorge or the ridge, and decided to put my gear up. And as I got there, I had a great view, and I looked to my right, and there was this outcropping of rock kind of stood. It looked close. You see the picture of it. And it looked kind of close to the, and I thought maybe I could make it across. I said, I just need to go over there and spend some time with my journal and just with God. It'd be a great place to go and overlook the gorge, just have some time with God. So I set my camp up, and I hiked about 1/10 of a mile, and I found where the outcropping was and found a trail kind of going out to the rocks. And as I got out there and was kind of climbing and hiking, I got to the end of what I could physically get to, and I saw the outcropping I wanted to get to. Now, it wasn't far, but it was too far for me to jump across or get across. But I could see that if I could get down, I could probably climb the rock and get up on top of it. However, when I looked, I realized that the cliff face was pretty sheer, and it was a good ways down, probably 25 feet down to the surface where I could start climbing the other rock face that I wanted to sit on. And I just kind of got dejected. I kept looking for a way and looking for a way across, and I really could not figure out how to get over there safely. And I just said, well, Lord, I guess I'm not going to get that time with you. And anyway, I was standing in front of a rock there in front of me, and there was a hole in the ground. There was a hole, sometimes where the water washes out behind the rock. It was a real craggy rock. And I don't think I was praying for this or whatever, but I was kind of praying, Lord, I wanted to get out there. I felt like I need to spend time with the Lord. And I looked down in this hole, which was kind of shadowed over. I couldn't see deeper, but I looked more closely, and I found a rope. I saw a rope, a coil of rope stuffed in this rock. And I was absolutely astounded and amazed. I pulled it out, and it was probably 40, 50 feet of rope, neatly coiled and wrapped as if someone had left it there for me. Well, needless to say, I saw that as a pure miracle that God wanted me over on that outcropping. So I took the rope. I was able to tie it and get down that rock face and make my way up to the cliff that I wanted to sit on and be with God. I was just so enthralled, so amazed that I found this rope, and I felt so close to God that He wanted me out there with Him. Well, I sat out there probably a good 2 hours. It was late in the evening. It was sun was going to be going down, so I went and made my way back down and climbed back up, packed that rope up with me, took it back to my campsite, and I basically felt like God saying, you can go home. I'm like, well, God, I didn't really want to go home. I came out here and planned to be here for 3 days, 2 nights, 3 days, hike over to this other mountain. And God said, no, you can go home. We've had our time. How much more could I ask for over the next 2.5 days than that? So I packed everything up, went back home, drove home to share it with my wife. I want to encourage you, listen for God. Take those times that He wants to spend with you. I promise you, any encounter with God is going to reveal so much about God that it's going to overwhelm you. Thank you, and God bless.